you don't, you don't save me. All right, yo. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. For most of the year, I traveled throughout the country building Amazons and FedExes and like repairing agricultural machines, climbing up really high stuff, lifting up really heavy stuff, leaving work with dirt on my face and in my nails. This month I'm with Ally Valve Incorporated. Shout out Travito. But yo, so I've been riding 101 with this old guy named Randy, right? Cool ass OG. He's been running crews for like 36 years, he told me. I love riding with OGs like this because they always make sure that you pick up something from them, that you learn something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how many times I tell him I know how to do something, he'll be like, look, come here. Yeah, I know you know, but look, come here. And then his old ass to show me something new that I did not know. Yo, and then they always say whatever straight up how they feel, no matter how messed up, it comes across. Like today we left we was in Cedar Falls. I think that's in Minneapolis. We started off in Minneapolis. We drove 5 hours to we're here. I'm in Sheldon, Iowa, and we went to some plant. We took down a bunch of valves, big heavy valves. Me and him just by ourselves, a whole bunch of them, and we got off at like 6 p.m. It was a long day. And then so after we got off, we pulled up to the hotel, and I don't know how long I'm gonna be at this job. He was like, yeah, I know I'm scheduled for next week, and I'm gonna have you come along. And for that moment, I was like, bet. And then he was like, but I don't know because I might go get surgery on my foot, and then I guess you'll go home. Same sentence. For real. But like, you ever been like, I love OGs because have you ever been like courteously insulted by like your grandpa? Like, like people come over because your car won't start, and then he say something like, well, you got to put gas in it, right? You got to put gas in it to make it start, make you feel real little. You know what I'm saying? By simply stating what should be clearly be obvious. I love old dudes like that. That's why I love Senator Louisiana Kennedy, Senator Kennedy from Louisiana. I love this dude. This is the nicest, meanest people in Congress, and he's the perfect person to interview about Senator Van Halen going all the way to El Salvador to try to bring back Kilmore, Alberga, Garcia, and about these Democrats, opposition to Trumpito's deportation program, because he will, with the utmost respect now, he will, with the utmost respect, tear your dumb ass to shreds. Not no name calling. He don't do like that. But he's just simply stating, like I said, what should be clearly obvious. You know what I mean? Yo, she kept asking, should Kilmore, this is Christian Welker on the night, Meet the Press. She kept asking, should Kilmore Albrega Garcia be returned? That was the question. And Senator Kennedy, like, I'm gonna tell you what he said. He said, "Look, someday pigs might fly, but I doubt it." Yo, I love this dude. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
And joining me now is Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Senator Kennedy, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Let's start off with this case of Mr. Abrego Garcia. You heard my conversation with Senator Van Hollen. The Justice Department called the deportation of Mr. Abrego Garcia a, quote, administrative error. The Supreme Court has ordered the government to facilitate Mr. Abrego Garcia's return. Should Mr. Abrego Garcia be returned to the United States, Senator?
Well, Chris is my friend, and I respect him, and he's certainly entitled to his opinion, but in my judgment, he is utterly and gloriously wrong. I mean, most of his gauzy rhetoric is just rage bait. Unless you're next level obtuse, you know that Mr. Garcia is never coming back to the United States, ever. And that's not because of President Trump. That's because of Mr. President Bukele. He said up front in the Oval Office that he was not going to return Mr. Garcia.
He told you.
no federal judge, even Jay Wilkinson, has authority over a sovereign country. Besides that, it should not go unnoticed that Mr. Bukele is much closer to President Xi in China than he is to President Trump.
He ain't even cool
Xi
with
is
us.
spending billions of dollars to build infrastructure in El Salvador, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've discussed this case. The final point I would make, whether you agree with it or not, is Bukele hates MS-13.
They messed this country up.
Mr. Garcia allegedly is a member of MS-13. The other point I would make is that Chris says Mr. Garcia's had no due process.
That's
He's
not
been
true.
in front of 17 judges, some of them twice. Probably $5 million worth of legal fees, and he hadn't had to pay a dime.
Get the people
Final
up.
point I'd make, look, this was a screw up, in my opinion. The administration won't admit it, but this was a screw up. Mr. Garcia was
blew
not
it.
supposed to be sent to El Salvador. He was sent to El Salvador. The Democrats saying, look, we told you Trump is a threat to democracy. This is going to happen every other Thursday afternoon. I don't see any pattern here. I mean, someday pigs may fly, but I doubt it.
Senator, this is notable because you are saying, in your words, this is a screw up. I mean, are you concerned that more mistakes could happen?
What?
Well, sure, none of us want mistakes. Mistakes bad. Doing it right, good.
Yeah.
But it was a screw up, and I understand why the administration is bowed up and said we won't admit it's a mistake, because if they do, they'll have their throats torn out. But it was a screw up. I don't see any pattern here. I've been listening to my Democratic friends say for, I don't know, since God was a child, that Trump is a threat to democracy. I don't see any pattern here. I see a screw up.
Well, and the concern for some people is that if there's one screw up, it does become a slippery slope. It is worth noting Mr. Abrego Garcia has not ever been charged with a crime. And in terms of what the courts are saying, they're not saying this is under the jurisdiction of the president of El Salvador. They're saying this is the responsibility of the U.S. government, the Supreme Court ordering the Trump administration to facilitate his return. And in a ruling this week, a three-judge panel on the U.S. Court of Appeals wrote, quote, "The government is asserting a right to stash away residents of this country in foreign prisons without the semblance of due process that is the foundation of our constitutional order." Do you believe Mr. Abrego Garcia is due to have due process?
Well, I think number one, he's had due process. But if your question is, should he have been given a hearing before he was sent to El Salvador, I think the answer is yes. But let me say something about the Fourth Circuit opinion written by Jay Wilkinson. Judge Wilkinson is a very clever, self-confident guy. But he left out one part in his opinion. What does he expect Trump to do? Declare war and go get Bukele? I mean, he brought Bukele to America. President Bukele sat in the Oval Office in front of God and country and said, I'm not sending this guy back. So I don't know what Judge Wilkinson expects Trump to do.
Well, the president could simply have asked for it back, and he may have brought him. But let me ask you about something you said just a couple of months ago.
How do you know he hasn't? But Kristen, how do you know he hasn't?
Well, he has said he doesn't plan to. I'm just basing this off of his public comments. The president said he doesn't plan to. But let me just play something that you said. This is a couple months ago during a confirmation hearing for some of the president's DOJ officials. Take a listen.
I'm going to go ahead and let this ride, though. She tried to bust him out.
Don't ever take the position that you're not going to follow the order of a federal court. Now, all our judiciary has, an equal branch of government has its legitimacy. It doesn't have an army. Don't ever say you're not going to follow the order of a court.
He almost
cussed. Do you believe that President Trump is following the orders of the courts right now?
Yes.
Yes, you stupid
And I don't
BZ.
believe that President Trump will defy a federal judge's order. If he does, I'll call him out on it.
That part.
I believe what I said in the clip. I love the rule of law. I love it like the devil loves sin. I think if we start not following federal judicial orders, we undermine the system entirely. Now, that doesn't mean you can't criticize them. You can criticize them, you can appeal them, but you can't choose to not follow them. And I haven't seen President Trump do that. And if he does, I'll say very loudly and clearly
I
that I think
believe him.
he's wrong.
Yo, was it a mistake sending him out? Iceman Tom Homan does not think it was a mistake because if you came into this country illegally, you broke the law, and he's coming to deport that ass. But yo, even if it was a mistake, like Senator Kenny said, what you want Trumpito to do? Go to war with El Salvador? You know what I'm saying? Dude already said he ain't giving it back. We ain't even cool with El Salvador. You know, JD Vance was just in Guyana telling El Salvador we will blow their ass off the map if they come mess with our oil drilling. Like last week, they don't like us. You know what I'm saying? But you want us to invade El Salvador to go get one gangbanger who already been ordered to leave the country by several different judges. Yo, and then also Senator Kennedy, he's not the type to just agree with something just or say something that he doesn't actually believe in. He's not blindly following Trumpito into the inferno, and neither am I. You know what I'm saying? Look, sometimes in my opinion, Trumpito says some messed up stuff, some fudged up stuff, some distasteful stuff. But look, every single night on my channel, I say distasteful stuff. But just because I do that, do you think that I'm not a good father, a good brother, a good friend, a hard worker? You know what I'm saying? A provider for my family? You think I don't credit God for everything that I have just because I curse? You know what I'm saying? And I say fuzzed up jokes about deportation. I'm not deporting nobody. I can say whatever I want. Yeah, for real. And they not paying me now. And so look, as far as the deportation thing, now I'm not deporting nobody, but like if they start like paying $1,000 per illegal, you know what I'm saying? I might get involved because we all know I need this money. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't turn in illegals for $1,000 per illegal. Now for 5,000 per illegal, I feel it is my duty as an American patriot to hey, to do my due diligence. All right, see, there I go. I'm sorry, YouTube. But look, nobody really paid me for my opinion. So that's why I can say whatever I want to say. Now, maybe if I was a CNN anchor or NBC anchor and they paid me to act like I pretend about kill Mark or Garcia, then I would do that. You know what I'm saying? But praise God, I don't have to because my name is Marcus Russell and this is the Marcus Russell Show. So, yo, let me close by letting people give you some free tokens of advice.
The border is an open, bleeding wound, isn't it?
That's a fair way to characterize what's been going on for the last 4 years, sir.
The southern border is chaotic by design, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've been covering the border for 3 decades, and yeah, it's pretty chaotic.
Would it be fair to say that the broken southern border is man-made?
It would be fair to say that, sir, based on policies that have been implemented.
And that man's name is Joe Biden, isn't it?
That would be a fair assessment, yes, Senator.
Under President Biden, if you wait in line for legal immigration, you're a chump, aren't you?
When you look at the benefits that have been given to people and the speed at which they've been released into the United States, I would be chagrined if I were waiting.
You're a chump, aren't you? General.
I love this
You
dude,
believe
man.
in open borders, don't you?
I believe in the rule of law, sir.
Right. And it makes you angry that President Trump does not believe in open borders, does he?
Senator, I'm not here to discuss immigration policy. I'm here to discuss whether or not we use the military to enforce it.
And it makes you angry that most Americans don't believe in open borders, doesn't it?
We don't, bro.
Not in the slightest, sir. Again, I am not here to discuss the immigration policy.
Getting people.
Duty, honor, respect, you talked about that
Yes,
in
Senator.
your opening statement. On October 14th of this year, you went on CNN. I want to read you what you said,
What he say?
make sure I'm accurate.
What did he say?
Here's what you said. President
What
Trump
he-
is not like any sane leader. I'm very proud of General Milley for saying that President Trump is a total fascist.
Oh,
To Bob Woodward, if he, as chairman of the Joint Chiefs, is calling the president a fascist, I'm so proud of him for breaking that barrier.
what?
The challenge is because most MAGA Republicans, they don't understand what fascism is.
What? We're stupid.
The reality is that they are, in fact, fascists themselves.
I'm a fascist now.
Senator, I am happy to discuss my personal perspectives with you separately at any time. That's not the purpose of the hearing today.
Did I read that
Getting
accurately?
people.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
You think you're
Absolutely
smart?
not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this mass deportation.
Think you smarter than us, fool?
You think you're more virtuous than the American
You
people,
think
don't
you're
you?
more
Ben?
virtuous than us?
Senator, I am insulted by your comment.
Duty, honor, and respect. You talked
That
about
part.
that in your opening statement, didn't you?
That part.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Moran said, I wrote down her words. She said, by their actions, you know what someone's character is like.
Facts.
You agree with that?
Senator, for 35 years, I served my country with
Facts. I just wanted to touch back on that. Your actions define who you are. Period. I don't care what you say that you are, what type of good person that you think that you are. You know what I'm saying? Um, Faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? That means all the works, doing hard work, doing good works, doing God works, you know, doing the work. You know, it's been a lot of presidents in administration, but what have they changed? You know what I'm saying? They be scared to make change. They be scared to sign executive orders just to be like, I want to change something. You know what I'm saying? You can say that this man's actions, I don't care what he be saying. Like I said, he sometimes say some messed up stuff. I do too, but my actions define who I am. You know what I'm saying? You see, I just got off work and I'm still working to bring you this content. And they saying a lot of negative stuff about Trumpito every single day. What you want him to do? Go to war with El Salvador? No matter what they say, he's still working for the American people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still supporting him. Tell me what you think in the comments, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time. Peace.